Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback.
Along with you. Happy Monday to each and every one of you who has tuned in to Feedback, our positive image production by Hood Research. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host.
Thabiti, and we welcome you to the program.
And we thank you so much. There has been so much taking place, Thabiti. Oh, man, for the past few days and weeks and all of that. And I just want to say good morning and happy Monday to Vera and to Gladys, to Keith and Ron and Tim and who else? It's just so many of you who watch. I want to say happy Monday to Sister Fedora. She watches regularly as well. And to Carl. And who you want to say happy Monday to?
Well, belated happy birthday to Brother Keith.
Oh, yes.
Yes. We appreciate you, brother, and also Sister Jackie, Sister Ruth, Andrea, Professor Griggs, Gladys, Clementine, and you, the viewer. And also, I ask you see the numbers at the bottom of the screen, and I have pen and paper in my hand, and that way you'll be able to take information. Later in the show, I'll give some contact information. The city of Detroit is hiring, and they have over 10 different jobs, and it's an opportunity for, especially as a resident of the city of Detroit or nearby, Highland Park included, of course,
Right.
It's an opportunity for you to have weekly or biweekly income. We need choices, and employment is certainly one of them. It helps us to have money to maintain our finances, but it also helps us to improve our community as well. Love where you live.
Hey, that's right. You know, and there's some things going on throughout the community to emphasize that. Kim Shirobi was on with Hood Research this past Saturday, and she has a project going on at Noble School, and the young children are making trash baskets, and they're focusing in over on, I think she told me, Fullerton and something, and near Noble School, but getting them to understand that where you live should be cared for, and you should want it to look nice, just as you want yourself to look nice. So I was really happy to have her on our conference call this past Saturday. And you too can be on our conference call. We're on every Saturday from 3 p.m. until 6. Whatever time allotment that you have, you can call in and share, ask questions, and just enjoy. You know, this is something we started 3 years ago when the COVID virus hit the whole world. And we've been doing it ever since. The telephone number for those of you who listen to the BD and have your pen and paper handy when we come on, the number is 1 area code 978-990-5000. It rings one time, at which point you should put in the access code. And the access code is 338729. Press the pound key and you'll hear us talking. Again, that's 1 or 1978, I guess I could say, 990-5000. 338729. Press the pound key. Some people call it a hashtag. Some people call it a tic-tac-toe sign. Whatever you call it, press it, and you'll hear us talking.
You know, the funny thing about just for a moment, you say tic-tac-toe. Now, old school, we grew up with that, so we kind of know what it is. So we go by that. They've renamed it, and it's the hashtag now. And then, I don't know, somewhere in the middle, it became The pound
sign.
sign. So I guess it's got
Right.
a first, middle, and last name, but it's all the same sign.
Right, right. It is interesting how the language continues to evolve, and words come in, and words go out, and and the next thing you know, it's being called something different. Like, wow.
Well, this is the hardest language I've heard most people say, whether they're foreign or domestic. This is one of the hardest languages because knife, you don't hear the K, pneumonia, you don't hear the P. So that's the American language for you.
Well, a part of the reason I believe is because the English language, why they call it English, I think it's a melting pot language, because ethnic groups from all over the world have contributed words that end up in the American dictionary. The word okra is from Africa. The word hammock is from Africa. It ends up in our American dictionary. And if you notice at the bottom of the word and its explanation are tiny little letters. And it might say FR. That means it comes from the French language, you know. And so we have, I looked it up one day, 1,900,000 and some words in the American dictionary. But over time, as I was saying, words come and go and come and go. And that's the approximate number that we have, 1 million some. It just, trivia, I guess.
Hard enough for the people here to figure out how to say it, so everybody else coming in really catch it.
And I dare say they if they come from Italy, they probably pick up words used here that are based from their country or from, whatever country it is.
Since you mentioned the okra, just me being a nerd that I am, it wouldn't be a bad thing to maybe if we found African words that have found their way into the English language that people who don't know would be surprised to know, oh, wow, I didn't know that was African. Because especially us, the French and the German and all that, that's cool, but we deal with black issues here.
Right. And there's a lot of Latin that's, it's just in our American dictionary, but that's a wonderful idea. I attended a lecture once, and oh my gosh, it's been quite a long time ago, at a church, some Pembroke. I want to say Mayflower Church, that's not the name of the church. But anyway, the gentleman who was there was someone who was introducing all the attendees to the information, about that. That's probably where my curiosity started. And we have, as black people, so much to be proud of. But there seems to be so many of our people who shy away from their own history, their own information, their own images, and all that's been created by them. It just makes you wonder, why are you always trying to imitate somebody else when they're trying to imitate you?
It's interesting. I was looking at a program, and it was dealing with the continent of Africa, but what was being said is they had prominent people in Africa saying how the American image, or the image that they seem to put forth about Africa, is always to suggest that it's wild jungles and wild people and such, when they have cities more sophisticated, and some more sophisticated than American cities, including New York, LA, Chicago, etc. But the African was saying, or the Africans, because it was a few of them that were speaking, and I really took this to heart, is that they have constantly, meaning Western society in general, Western media in particular, has always tried to make us look bad in the eyes of our brothers and sisters on the continent and tried to make them look bad in our eyes. So to what you were saying, we try to disown or separate ourselves from that as if, no, I don't want to be like them, and you don't know who them are. You just know who you were told they were.
Right.
So we have to educate ourselves, and we can't count on the schools anymore.
Speaking of schools, oh my God. In Florida, the governor, DeSantis, I believe his name is now beginning to lose support. When he started out ranting and raving and take these books out of the school, take those books out of the school. Then he wanted to close some schools. Now he wants to close libraries. Libraries? The man is just losing it. He was appearing to be under the assumption that if he began to talk about black history, black people, and certain kinds of books that he thought were not fit for children to read and learn from, that would get him a large base, because I'm hearing that he wants to run for president of these United States. But as he continues to go on, and it just gets worse and worse, there seem to be some people that are backing away from him. And there was a report, I guess yesterday or Saturday, that some of the very, very wealthy Republicans are holding their money in their pocket. I guess some of those wealthy Republicans that might have donated large sums of money to him by now, they're saying, we're going to wait. They're going to wait.
It's interesting, too, because I was reading something recently, and one of the books that was banned, I'm not sure if it was specifically about Rosa Parks, but she was in it, but they used her as a person to say, yeah, we shouldn't be talking about Rosa Parks, as if that lady was a militant Panther or Malcolm, somebody who had a fiery speech. They say, yeah, we shouldn't have that Rosa Parks book here. I thought, wow, how low can you sink?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, I missed that one. Well, I was speaking about people imitating us. Yesterday I was channel surfing, and this woman was talking about some product she was trying to sell. And she says, if you use this, whatever it is, for 28 days, your lips will get bigger. She did. I kid you not. And when Bo Derek was presented, she had braids, and she was being presented to the world as if she and her braids were it. You had to have braids, boy, if you were going to be somebody in the white community. So that's what, she showed. And it's just, and all of these injections for enlarging the hips and
Derriere.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on. And our folks just need to know you have so much to be proud of.
And the world truly has imitated us. Hip-hop, the music, rap music is celebrating its 50th anniversary now. And one of the things I've listened to a number of people who are in that genre and who report on it, saying how no matter what you look at now, and I guess I'm never amazed at it. And by the way, they do say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. We don't seem to understand that people are imitating us on a serious level. But hip hop's influence has become global. It has been and still remains the top music genre of all music. I mean, they're not really playing no country music on commercials, and maybe a little opera or something, depending on what it is. But we've dominated in so many ways, but we have, in our own minds, diminished our own worth, and we act out of characters that they've created for us. And that's the thing that, when they talk about psychological warfare, it doesn't get any deeper than that. When they've got you so twisted mentally that you don't even like yourself, but everybody else loves you. And I'm sure, and I'm quite sure with this, that even some of these skinheads, racist, KKK, I know they got some Charlie Pride records. I know they got some Ray Charles records. I know they got some Aretha. I've even dealt with some. So they do, in their own sly, slick way, love you. And that's maybe where some of the hate comes from. As Bob Law said, they hate us because they ain't us.
All right. They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, we're going to go in the studio with that one.
Yeah. I like that.
And give many examples, but that's why I say it's up to us to educate ourselves. And I've heard people involved in church communities say that they're going to try a little bit more to bring in our social and cultural and traditional values. You know, it's yet to be seen because talk has always been cheap. But it's important for them because I think part of their lack of, let's say, membership in the congregation is because the repetitiveness of their sermons. And I heard a minister, someone who was very involved in the church, say more or less that in the churches now, first we know it's more or less dominated by women because men have feel kind of alienated from the church anyway. It doesn't speak to their needs. And if an institution doesn't speak to your needs, whatever the institution is, there's no reason for you to have a desire to become a part of it. But the church now has been negligent in, I would say, trying to expand their viewpoint, so therefore you can expand your congregation, because people need something that they can go to and feel good about and feel encouraged. You know, even like what you're working with, Love Where You Live, you know, churches should be involved in that too. Don't just be concerned with the grounds around your church and the money in the collection plate, but the community in that area that you're in as well. You know, print some flyers, put them on doors, let people know we're going to talk about Black history, because I got my Black Wall Street shirt on, thanks to Theo, by the way. But make them feel good about where they live. Then they have a reason to not only attend church, but to support the functions.
That's an excellent point, you know. And then I wonder sometimes if the ministers have a, what's a good word? Narcissistic attitude that they want a lot of women around them in the church. They're not really interested in having too many men there. You know?
Yeah, there is unfortunately, sometimes, let's say maybe a subliminal insecurity in having men, because then you have someone that can challenge you. It's just like having a father in the home or not having a father in the home. Well, the children are definitely going to act out if there's not a male presence, because strength is derived in many cases, especially in a patriarchal society like this, from the male. So if the church doesn't have, if some of the ministers, reverends, don't have a certain obedience that they know they can get from the women, because the women will look up to them. You know, he's a deacon, he's a reverend, he's all this, you know, and titles seem to go a lot farther. So men sometimes can make other men feel insecure or challenged, and I do think that's part of it, as well as not speaking to, or what can I do to help build these brothers up. We get brothers who are returning from, let's say, incarceration, and now we have to reintegrate them into the neighborhood. Churches will be an excellent way to start that, because that has always been the foundation of the Black community. Really, we would not have had any or many of the achievements we had it not been for the Black church. It's a safe haven for us. It's a place for hope, faith, and unity and community. And that has dwindled, and we can see in America now there's not much morality because there's not much church. And I don't push this church or that church. I just say that in general, if it wasn't for the church and some of the moral tenets that they tend to bring about, and how you interact with your neighbor, how you interact with yourself, and how you treat others. If we didn't have that, it'd be chaos all over the world.
And you know, when you were mentioning returning citizens, some of them learn about the Muslim faith and they don't call it a church, right? The mosque, and as they are in prison or jail, wherever, they are receiving information and contact from the mosque, and some of them find their way. So, you know, as you were saying, reintroducing the returning citizens to community and character and working together, I think that works well. Oh, okay. We got a call on the line.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us? And if this is Brother Ford, I apologize.
Who is that giggling?
Well, this is Brother Ford.
Hi.
And I got to be just a little abrupt today because I'm going to call back in about 20 minutes just for the listeners that don't hear this.
Okay.
I would love everybody to hear what I got to say.
All right.
Still, you know, everybody in the city is proud to have you. And you have a birthday coming up. I think it's tomorrow or maybe in 2 days, but I know it's soon.
It's tomorrow.
We're glad to have you in our midst. We thank you for your dedication to the city. You have informed us, you and yourself, and I want to say happy birthday to Al, too. I think he got a birthday coming one day or two or something also. But you have informed us. You've told us to get out and vote. You've told us who to vote for. You have enlightened us. You have adopted a school. You have kept this show going when other shows came and left. And you have also hosted other shows. But guess what?
What?
People all listen, and I'm going to call back and let you know in about 20 more minutes. This costs money.
All right.
We are blessed to have you and blessed to have Hood Research. And we all should be donated to this cause and what you're doing. You know, people, you need to give to something that is giving you something back. And I really mean that. I just want to say to listeners, you know, you play the lottery, you go to the casino, you get your groove on, and then you go get your little special drink and all the rest. But you should be donating to this lady. 40 years, I guess. I think it's 40 years. We should stand behind and do things for people that's doing something for us. I tell everybody that, and I'm going to leave it right there. But I would just love you or your co-host to be very explicit and tell us how we can donate or join Hood Research, because this is something that we should do. And people all around the city know me for saying this. All we got is each other. Now, we have you. God bless you. Tell us how to donate, join, be very explicit. And I'm calling back in 15 or 20 minutes. God bless you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Thank you,
Thank you.
James.
Okay, we're right on the break.
Thank
You, brother.
We are now at 9:30 a.m. Oh, my goodness. It came really fast. For those of you who are tuned in, we're going to our first break. So get your orange juice, your coffee, your milk. Call somebody. Tell them to tune in, call in, and share with us. And we'll be back momentarily.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
Everybody settle, Butter, you're on. count in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chew
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
And take us along with you. As you know by now, if you watch the show at any time, you know that's my favorite commercial. Anyway, we are back, and thank you for staying tuned to Feedback, our positive image production. That's Hood Research. We want you to join us, call us, be on our conference call, and every once in a while we tip out there and have an in-person meeting. We have folks who do call us and they say they're having cabin fever and they want to do something. And I think we will have another one soon. The weather was getting nice, but this morning when we stepped outside, I'm like, oh my goodness, what happened? Yesterday was beautiful and bright, and today it's like the sky is falling. What did Chicken Little say? The sky is falling. But have no fear. Warmer temperatures are coming near.
And I generally say this time of year, just in conversations, that we're at that point where winter and spring are having a tug of war, because it's not like turning the light switch on as soon as the 21st of March gets here. Spring is automatic, and because I saw snow showers today, so just seeing those little light snowflakes. But the point is that what we experienced was just a preview. A lot of, we got hooked on it, but it was just a preview of what's to come. It wasn't, sort of like having an opening act, but you're waiting for the main act to show up. So the opening act does this little thing, and that's a reason also for us to consider our health as well, because some people still think that. Well, I put it like this: I saw people who were dressed not for the weather, and we know that there's a black store that's on Linwood and Glendale where you can get a lot of the healthy things you need right in your neighborhood.
Absolutely. Fresh fruit and vegetables. And there are those who have been there already who have told us how impressed they are. And the lady who has opened the store, has been open about 4 weeks or so now, was living really nice downtown. And the building that she owns was owned by a suburbanite who was here, and in 1967, after the rebellion, he decided that he'd be safer moving out. And her family purchased that building, and they've had it for all these years. She was riding around in the area and knowing that what we hear often, that there's a food desert, decided to sell her fancy condo, take that money and invest it into the community. And that's where she is now. Linwood and Glendale, right on the corner of Linwood and Glendale. We're going to go over there, as a matter of fact, after the show this morning. And we encourage you, come on out. Meet the owner and the sales personnel, workers at the Linwood Glendale supermarket.
And here's an incentive. Hand-packed ice cream from the other side of the state. Ooh, so they did not fudge on anything. They want to give you top quality products and some exotic things as well. And you can believe on a cool day like today, I can get that ice cream. I know it's not going to melt too fast, and I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not going to kid you on that one.
Oh, yes.
And one of the things, excuse me, Theo, one of the things I want to say and emphasize even more so is that too many of our people have been going to some of these party stores to get something to eat. As we know, Brother Malik Shabazz has always protested about tainted meats and also cans that have been well past the expiration date because they don't have that good turnover in terms of moving things off the shelf. So you might get a can of pork and beans or whatever it may be that has been a year past the date, but the people in the gas station are not trying to say, well, out with the old, in with the new. They want to keep it on the shelf until it's sold. And the same thing with these party stores and these gas stations. That's not where you get a healthy meal. Our community, more than most, and I know the Mexican or Hispanic community is suffering the same way because they have many of the same health issues in terms of obesity and certain things. That's because our communities have lacked the type of nutritional things that we need, and we have to we need to change the things. So this store, Linwood and Glendale, is an excellent choice. You can get fruit. We need fruit. Just a quick thing from Dick Gregory. He said that our bodies are 97% liquid and probably 80% of that is water. So you should eat things that are closer to your body composition, which is fruit, which is primarily water, and as opposed to getting a big bag of chips, getting you a 2-liter bottle of some ginger ale or something, which has no nutritional benefits, but you can't eat it. So I can't knock the fact that you can put it in your mouth. But after it passes your tongue, what is it doing to your body? And for me, this is the critical thing, because another thing he said is that we wonder why there's diabetes and certain illnesses run in our families. That's because the diet runs in the family. If you stop doing what great-grandma, grandma, and mama was doing, then you won't have the same issues as them. But as long as we continue on this road. So the store is an excellent opportunity for those in the neighborhood who would go to a gas station and say, go get me a couple of hot dogs from the gas station. That's not where you want to buy your food at.
And we were talking earlier about things coming in and things going out, as far as the words are concerned. The same thing with food. It was good when lard was no longer sold, because a lot of fried, foods in lard was not healthy. And today, well, maybe there's some store somewhere where you can still buy lard, but for the most part, it's not sold anymore. And that's a good thing. And for the members of the community to start trying some, like kale as an example. A lot of people have been adding kale to their salads. Raw, fresh kale is good. Some people have been cooking kale by itself, or they have been cooking it with collard greens or some other greens that they use, and that's one of the new greens to add to the shopping list. And there are other items as well, and people cook with olive oil now more than they did before.
Crisco and all that mess, and then you had the can on the stove with the old grease.
Oh, yes, a little strainer on top to
recycle it, cook fries, fish, chicken in it, just whatever. And I have to say, I've got red leaf and green leaf kale in my refrigerator now, and I would include, y'all know about Popeye the Sailor Man. He's not in vogue anymore, but he said he's strong to the finish because he eats his spinach, and I've got spinach. And those are the two things. And one of the things I want to emphasize, this is why the store is important as well, is because we speak about having roughage, which is what these vegetables are. And what they help to do is to clean out your intestinal system. We don't think about once it passes the tongue, it's got to go through the stomach, the intestines, feed and give nutrition to our bodies, our cells, for our hair, for our eyes, everything that we need, to have a more vibrant, healthy life. We don't think about it. Once it gets past the tongue, we had Dr. Farif on our Zarif Farif on our show before, and he's got a book called Slaves of the Tongue, and I had to really think about this. Everything we eat basically is based on taste. Does it taste good? We don't care about what it does for us or what it doesn't do, man. Because if you just ate the food without the seasoning, you wouldn't eat it in most cases, except for fruits and vegetables. But the other things you have to season, potatoes. There's so many things that we have to season, especially the meats. You wouldn't eat them if you didn't have some ketchup or something on there to help it slide past your tongue. So we have to not let the tongue, which is one organ, be the king, the czar that rules all the other organs in the body. And the tongue's doing a good job now, too, because, oh, man, it tastes good. You got to have it.
You're right about that.
Because I think in terms, this is just me, I think in terms of what's happening to my liver, what's happening to my kidneys, what's happening to my other internal organs, and am I doing any good? So as Theo suggested, kale, and it's very high. As a matter of fact, it's the most potent vegetable when it comes to vitamin K, which is good for your bones. Well, we don't want to have arthritis issues. You don't want to get older and have physical issues because your quality of life diminishes, and even your mindset about your condition can cause you to diminish. We don't realize how much mentally our mind affects our health as well. And we do have mental health issues in our community. It's undeniable, but it's also a stigma. Oh, he nuts. He's not nuts. He needs somebody to talk to, and everybody does. So we've got to work on physical and mental health. We just have to absolutely do it. And take time to talk, because Black youth now are increasing in suicidal behavior, unlike before. And and they say between the ages, I believe, I want to say 10 and 35. But let's just say at any age, it's not a good thing, but particularly youth, because they're vulnerable as they approach puberty, their adolescence, their maturity. Where do I fit in? Nobody listens to me, and it's a heartbreaker to hear someone who just didn't have anybody to go to and decided that life wasn't worth living. So we have to listen and talk to the youth, and not talk to them, talk with them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that brings me back to education. And I have mentioned, I guess, before that I attend school board meetings. The Detroit Public School System has a board of education members, and there are 9 of them, I think I remember, and the superintendent. They meet 12 months out of the year. They don't break when school is out for summer. They meet 9 months out of the year. And I attend the school board meetings to make various points to the board members, to the superintendent, and to those who are in attendance. The audience participants are not as plentiful as they should be. The meeting that they're having, which is tomorrow, is at Western High School, which is 1500 Scotton Street. Scotton Street. Yeah, that's a nice street to drive down, too. It is beginning, as a matter of fact, at Tireman and the Boulevard. Or and you just go straight out Scotton to 1500. In the meetings, they have a committee meeting starts at 5. The board meeting begins at 6 p.m. However, if you wish to address the school board and the superintendent, you need to be there at least by 5:15, 5:20, so that you can sign a little 3x5 card saying that you want to speak to them to make whatever points you want to make. The school has received almost $1 billion from the President of the United States. City of Detroit has received almost $1 billion from the President of the United States. And these may be some of the questions that you have. What are you doing with that money? Several months ago, I attended a school board meeting at which point the superintendent stated that 3 high schools were going to be built. 3 high schools. Last month when I attended a meeting, I asked him, well, when? We received that report, but they haven't started yet. We have a caller, so I'll just pause for the calls, and we'll see who's on the line.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Share your name and how are you viewing us?
This is James Ford from the Obama weekend again. Oh. I told you I was going to call back.
Yes.
And I had to keep my promise.
All right.
And I just tell the listeners this, those 20s should be crawling out your pocket because I'm going to give you some information. Phil, you got a birthday coming up, and I just can't get it right when the date is, but we proud to have you in this city. You, Al, the whole Hood Research organization. This is a frontline organization, and you're a frontline sister. We're glad to have you in our midst. Your dedication to the city is impeccable. You have informed us. You have told us who to vote for, and you definitely told us to vote. And you've told us a lot of other things that we need to know. You've enlightened us. You've adopted the school, and you've made us understand things that we weren't even thinking about, like what you're talking about right now. You've kept the show going where other shows have failed. Some people may think I know you, but I do a little bit. But you're a frontline sister. When I call you, you sometimes don't call me back, and you said, ain't nobody but James Ford. And I'm going to call him back and call you back in 3 days. Because you're a frontline sister. And you're doing the other stuff. But we're blessed to have you. We're blessed to have Hood Research. And everybody should be donating. You should be joining Hood Research. You got people that are not giving you something back. This lady is giving you something. Some people are listening, and you've been on the show, and you prospered for being on her show. Those 20s, as I said, and maybe some of those 50s should be crawling out your wallet. You have Zelle. You got all type of other ways to give. You know, you play the lottery. You go to the casino. You get your groove on. You have your little special drink, you know, and this is important that we help people that's helping us. So I'm just going to say 40 years of service. Somebody's listening. Somebody think about what I'm saying. Let some of those 20s crawl out your pocket and crawl right over to Hood Research, because this sister have to pay. She get out in the cold. She's making phone calls to Lansing and wherever else. God bless you. Thank you. James Ford, would you please tell us how to join or donate to Hood Research? God bless you.
All righty. Thank you for calling, James. Hood Research is 31 years old this year. And we want to let you know that an annual membership is $20. Lifetime membership is $300. And if you want to send a donation, a lifetime membership or annual membership, you can send it right here to WHBR, 160 Victor Street, 160 Victor Street, Highland Park, 48203. That's 160 Victor Street, VICTOR, Highland Park, Michigan, 48203 for Hood Research.
And yes, I think everyone should really keep in mind what Brother Ford has said, because it's very important. Number one, 31 years. That's a long time in the game for anybody who's in the game. And to be still very viable, stable, with a strong foundation, and certainly an excellent track record. You can't find many grassroots organizations that have endured many times the membership, those who are running certain little private areas of it, they just fall off. They go into other ventures, or they just stop. Hood Research has not stopped. Matter of fact, Hood Research has gotten stronger as it's moved on. And I think another thing that he said, especially what caught me, was when he mentioned the people playing lottery. I can't tell you how many times I have been in a place where they're playing lottery, and somebody didn't play $50, $80, $100 worth of numbers. It's a mind blowing. Yes,
Whoa.
It is mind blowing. I say, well, I hope they hit, because you know that $50, $80, and they have no qualms about it at all. So if you would spend that much towards lottery, then $20 just for a membership to Hood Research will be invaluable to you.
Yeah.
And let's just say you do hit the lottery. Well, give Hood Research a little taste of that money too then. You didn't hit for like $500. I'm sure you can donate. You donate to the church, and you may not get nothing out of it, but to be able to help wash the pastor's car, well, go ahead and put that $20 with an organization that's out there, down, as Theo was saying, we're getting back to it, at school board meetings, at police commissioner meetings, at you name it, Hood Research is there, or we've got field associates who are there. So contribute to an organization that does give back, because everyone you contribute to, particularly some of these institutions, and I'm not attacking any, so it could be synagogue, mosque, or church, but if they're not giving anything back to you and they're still taking from you, that's like pouring water into a bucket with a hole in it. It's being wasted. So again, 31 years and strong. Here we are on the air. We've done radio. We've done a little bit of everything. I mean, if you look at the timeline of Hood Research, and we do intend in the future, Theo and I have talked about that, I'm sure she's talked to it with others, where people will come and speak about how they became familiar with Hood Research, what they've done along with research, Hood Research, and how it's actually helped and benefited their lives. So we get back to the education, but I'm going to bring this up in the next half of the show when we get there about, again, donating. And she gave you the information. If you didn't have your pen and paper handy of where to send your donation, we'll give you that in the next half hour.
Well, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting James Ford to call in, but I really appreciate him. And you all need to know that he's been very dedicated to the Obama weekend as well, which is the first weekend in August because Obama's birthday is August the 4th. And he's planning on one for this year as well. And he's always contributed to Hood Research and the things that we do, and he is a member of Hood Research. I want to ask people to follow Hood Research on Twitter. We have a Facebook page and a website, and the email is contact@hoodresearch.org. Again, that's CONTACT, and the little A with the circle around it. Then HOODRESEARCH.org. And we are coming up on our second break. You know, it's either feast or famine around here as far as guests are concerned, but we are never without conversation. And the show is moving fast anyway. So if you have somebody you can think could benefit from tuning in, call them and refresh your milk or your coffee or your juice, and we'll be back after we pause for the calls. We'll be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Womack.
Wally Womack here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chin and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you. Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the
chin
that's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, The Many Adventures of These Nuts in a theater near you.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
You ready to put your podcast on iHeartRadio? Yes, your podcast on iHeartRadio. What about Alexa, Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Android, or iPhone? Plus live TV streaming. Get your podcast seen and heard all over the world. Call 313-868-6612. Pre-recorded shows are accepted to be archived. This is a WHPR distribution platform. Download the app from the App Store. Go to WHPRTV.com. Channels available for lease 24/7 on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Coming soon, subscription and pay-per-view.
Also,
Block Time is available. Get yours. Call 313-868-6612. That's 313-868-6612. Executive producer R.J. Watkins. Program director Henry Tyler. 107.5 FM WGPR HD2. RadioWeCanSee.com.
Have you ever wanted your own TV show? Have you dreamed of showcasing your talent for the world to see? Well, now you can. Have your own TV show. You can have your own 30-minute show. Not only will you be seen in the Detroit area, but you can be viewed worldwide. For more information, call 313-868-6612. Visit our studios and receive a free TV interview to promote your business, church, or organization by appointment only. You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit HD2.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback.
Take us along with you. And we are back for the last segment, and it has been moving so fast. Sometimes I wonder about this clock. Anyway, just want to let you know right quick that tomorrow the school board meeting for the Detroit Public School System CD is going to be held at the Western International School, which is at 1500 Scotton Street. It's in Detroit. 6 o'clock. And if you want to speak to the board and the superintendent, you should be there at least 15, 20 minutes before 6, say 5:30, 5:20, 5:15, so that you'll have an opportunity to do that. You were going to say?
Now, you see the numbers at the bottom of the screen, and I ask you, I guess in the earlier part of the show, to have your pen and paper handy. Now, this Wednesday, April 19th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., there's going to be a downtown job fair. It's going to be at 1001 Woodward Avenue. They're asking you to bring a resume, certainly dressed to impress, and prepare for on-the-spot interview. Now, they're making it easy, and this is one thing that we know in many downtowns, it's hard to find a place to park, but you will get free parking validations for the garage at One Campus Martius Garage, which is located at 1140 Farmer Street. Now, it's free parking, so you don't have to worry about a meter maid or nobody creating an issue. Now, they have over 1,000 job openings, which includes security, retail, restaurants, childcare, gaming, maintenance, environmental services, and more. You can work, they have positions for full-time, part-time, seasonal, and special events, which means you can fit it into your schedule if you're a student, perhaps, and you can't work full-time, then there's part-time openings. If a certain time of the year you're not able, they have seasonal jobs and special events. Now, featured jobs from the Downtown Detroit Business Improvement Zone, BIZ, and many others are involved. Now, job seekers are strongly encouraged to participate and register. Again, I'll repeat that and then I'll do it once again at the end of the show. Downtown Job Fair this Wednesday, April 19th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 1001 Woodward Avenue. Have your resume, dress professionally, and prepare for an on-the-spot interview. And as I said, there's over 1,000+ job openings. We live in Detroit. This is our city. Why not work? Matter of fact, it's even better because I look at it, if you don't have transportation, there's public transportation. You're going to be working right here in the city where you live. So you really can't go wrong with that. And with all the variety of jobs that they have, you can fit in somewhere. And this is another reason. Now, Theo was speaking before the last break about attending school board meetings where we're talking about education. It's very important for you to encourage your children to stay in school. And those who have not remained in school, you can still get a GED. These things are available. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Theo, I think Wayne County Community College has something where
Yes, that's correct. They have it. 4962600 is the telephone number, 313-496-2600. Wayne County Community College has the GED program. And on most of the jobs now, if you don't have a high school diploma and you have your GED, what is the certificate?
Yes.
You can still apply and be hired for the various jobs. So don't let that stop you from participating in it. And it's very necessary. Don't be ashamed. You want to benefit and better yourself. And what the BD has just explained and what we talked about the GED are ways to benefit and improve your own circumstances. And only you can be the judge of where you want to go in life. You got to start, then start.
And it still says there are three kind of people. What are those people, Theo?
Well, now let me tell you about it. There are those people who make things happen. Yeah, that's the kind everybody would like to be. But then, there's the kind that sit on the porch or just walk around in the park and just watch what's going on. Wonder what's going on over there. Wonder what they're doing over there. They just watch things happen. And then there's the third group of people who walk around and they scratch their heads and they shake their heads and they say, I wonder what happened. Don't be that class of people. Just get involved. Make things happen yourself. And working together is how we can make things happen. You can call your representatives in Lansing and tell them the $15 an hour ballot question was passed. Why wasn't it implemented? Because the Republicans were in charge, in the majority that means. In Lansing, senators, representatives, state reps, they gutted it once it was approved. Call your legislators because we now have control of the state Senate, the state House, and the state governor's seat. They can change things. They can implement that $15 an hour raise. Call your representatives and tell them you want them to get on it. Review what happened and make it happen. The point that the $15 an hour raise was approved by the majority and it needs to be implemented. Second thing that happened was Bill 406, okay? We didn't want an emergency manager. We didn't want the kinds of things that happened to the residents in the city of Detroit, their property taxes, and their retirees, for God's sake. So what happened? The Republican legislators gutted out 406, came up with 436. Now that we have Democratic control in Lansing, you can call your representatives and tell them to restore Proposition 406. They can do that. Don't let them give you a bunch of crap. They can do it. We want to make things happen. Send an email, send a text, get on Twitter, talk about it, follow Hood Research on Twitter, bring up the conversation. But contact them and let them know. And don't forget the governor. Okay. She can also push for the $15 an hour raise. She can also push for 436 to be canceled out and go back to the one that we approved, 406.
Now, I would add to that we have a relationship with those politicians. We're supposed to have, I will say, a relationship with those politicians who represent us. Now, in a relationship, communication is important. They have a lot of constituents, and you are part of the constituency. If you don't let them know how you feel, how will they know how you feel? That's what a relationship is about, communication. If you don't tell them that your street lights are out, if you don't tell them that the pavement is cracked, if you don't express it, then telling the man next door to you or your neighbor across the street will benefit neither one of you, because all you're doing is keeping it among yourselves. There are people who are termed or called movers and shakers, and for us, those are the politicians. So if I want, and I have called the governor's office too, and it's kind of funny, and I've sent some stuff there too, and it seems like, and I've contacted, I should say, local media stations as well, television stations, and it's kind of funny that some of the feedback you'll get from them. But the point is that if you contact them, they will have to acknowledge that you contact them and give feedback. But if you don't, this show is called Feedback. Now you got to give them feedback. You see the logo behind me. It says feedback. That's what we need.
That's right.
If you don't feed, you get nothing back in the first place.
That's right.
So I would encourage you to let them know that you, John Q. Public or Jane Q. Public, are out there and that you have interests and concerns and that you want them to address those concerns. And whether you do or not, tell them that you are a regular voter, because that might intimidate them.
So that'll wake them up.
And say, oh, yeah, I vote, and I don't want to have to vote for your opponent. I'd like to vote for you again, but I need to see you doing something that makes me feel like you're worth my vote, because if not, I have to find somebody who will address my issues. They will take that to heart. Number one, they probably like their job. Some of them don't see themselves as public servants, but they are public servants. And you can tell any one of them, we pay your salary. You are paying their salary.
Absolutely.
They're your employee. You are the boss.
Right.
But if you don't act like a boss,
they'll keep stepping on you. They'll keep using you. They will keep putting out ideas that will benefit them and not you. Don't let that happen. Don't let them step on you. Don't let them use you. Call them.
Yeah, think about our, I put it in quotes, brother, Clarence, Uncle Tom Thomas, and hanging out with a billionaire who has plenty of Nazi memorabilia. Well, whose ear do you think, or whose concerns do you think Judge Thomas will fulfill? He's going to fulfill the needs of those who, and he's in that's a problem too, a lifetime appointment with Supreme Court, but that's another subject. But the same way he has his influencers, we know that the Illiches, the Penske's, I guess it's a guy,
Dan
Gilbert, and some guy, Stephen something or other. Ross, yeah. We know that they are making noise and they're being heard. But you know that
serviced.
1,000 people can make a lot more, get more attention than that one person. So we have to raise our voices above those of the ones with the money, because in the end, the public servants are not serving the public.
That's right.
We got a problem with that.
Absolutely. And speaking about Clarence Thomas and his sugar daddy, if the sugar daddy has a lot of Nazi memorabilia, that's passed around by the Germans, by the way, during the Holocaust, what we hear about is 6 million Jews being slaughtered. The total of people who were slaughtered was not 6 million. It was 18 million. You don't hear about that because the Jewish community makes sure that you know their story. The others who have ancestors who were slaughtered don't. And if that history is hidden, then you'll never hear about it. But as far as Clarence Thomas is concerned, the Nazis killed black people. You don't hear about that. It was about, I forget how many now, 12 million or so. But anyway, different 6 and 18, at least 12, right?
Yes.
So there was a percentage of that additional 18, part of the 18 total, who were black. They killed disabled people. They just slaughtered anybody that they did not think was perfect. And why Hitler thought the perfect person was blonde-haired and blue-eyed when he was neither is interesting in itself. It really is.
Definition of insanity.
Hey, yes. But for Clarence Thomas to be so abiding to a man who praises those who kill folk that look like Clarence Thomas is interesting in itself. Maybe we should mail something to him and say, did you know that your sugar daddy loves those Nazis who kill black people like you?
Interesting, too, because we know that 45 was associated with not only the Klan, at least his father was, and mobsters as well, but also was associated with the KKK as well. And we know that the wife, Jenny Thomas, I'm sure she wears the pants in the family. I'm sure he's got trousers, but he don't wear the pants in the family. He just wears trousers or shorts. And we know that she's a staunch Republican and certainly a supporter of 45 and many of the other people. I'm sure Marjorie Taylor Greene, you name it. She's a supporter of all that. So he just seems to me to be the quiet man who's maybe a henpecked husband, and he follows the dictates of the so-called quote-unquote dominant society. Right. So we can't count on Uncle Thomas, Judge Thomas Clarence to be there. But then again, this is where contacting people who are in positions of power becomes mandatory, right? Because we gave them power. They didn't have power. They didn't have anything. We gave them power, a powerful seat. We gave them a voice. But if they don't hear our voice, and it's absolutely, and you know, I'll tell you, I might be what they call a gadfly back in the day, which is that little thing that would always annoy a horse. It just, pinching at it, biting it and nipping it and stuff like that. But that's what you have to do with these politicians. You have to kind of bite them. You have to make your presence known, sting them a little bit, so that, oh wow, they swishing their tail like a horse would. You get the fly off of them, but the fly come on back. So
be determined.
Yes, that's it.
And we need to start a movement of this. Just call and let others know the same thing.
Yeah, I tend to on my Facebook page, and those who are friends, and I don't let everybody become quote unquote friends, but I post those numbers. I post this kind of information because I got to get it out of my system. And I have to use whatever platforms we have, which includes this show, to let people know, get it out of your system. Like say, talking to the neighbor down the street or across the street will do neither one of you any good if you don't tell somebody who can do something about it.
Right.
You know, you can tell me, but I can't do nothing about it. But you and I can do something about it if we work together. And once it's an odd thing that you can build momentum, because once you get a few people going, other people just see it and want to become involved. This is how most movements start.
You want to be a part.
We got a common cause.
That's right.
Common needs, and we need to have that common concern. And then they say, well, these people aren't playing, because we know the Tea Party wasn't playing, which is why Bush and all that and the MAGA people, those people aren't playing. They know the game. They playing for keeps.
That's right. And it's important to share the information. You know, when I was coming up, I would hear this all the time. You don't talk about religion. You don't talk about politics. You don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics. And I kept thinking, wonder why. When on Saturday, somebody would, you know, here I have some information for you. And it would be, what was the Watchtower thing they were passing out? And they would talk about religion. And I started thinking, well, if they can talk about religion, why I keep hearing people say don't talk about religion? You can talk about religion. It's your prerogative too. And you can talk about politics. You don't have to get into a knockdown, drag out fight with anybody, but you can talk about it. And that's what we need to do. We need to spread the word about what's going on and how there are some elected officials who want to step on us. They want to use us so that they can continue to build their influence and their bank account. And we got to work together.
And you know, it's interesting, one of the things that, and I'm not sure what, I believe it was with the police department, but there was recently, within the last 3 weeks, I'll say, a police officer who was like just getting, let's say, little things on the side, little perks on the side.
Yes.
And but what got me was that it was less than $15,000. I'm thinking to myself, man, what? You know, that's chump change.
You go to jail for chump change. It makes you a chump.
And, you know, some people think they can't get caught, just like some of the knuckleheads who want to try to carjack somebody or something. You think you can't get caught, you will get caught. You know, there's too much going on now. There's somebody that don't like you in the first place, and if they see your picture pop up on the 6 o'clock news, oh, that's Jelly right there. I'm going to drop a dime on Jelly. So don't think you can't get caught, because one thing about criminals is that they don't do it. They include other people in and say, man, guess what I did? Well, one of your boys don't like you anyway. And he said, yeah, this is one way I always wanted his girl, Sheila, so let me get him out the way, drop this dime. He can do some time, and, you know, I can holler at him.
Wasn't it somebody who did that? Solomon.
David.
Isn't it David?
Yeah.
And they sent the boyfriend or husband or somebody to the front line.
Right.
Because he wanted his wife. History repeats itself.
And there's a lot of Davids around you.
Oh, Lord, yeah. That is very interesting.
Now, when we were talking earlier and Theo was speaking about education, one of the things I want to say quickly, many of you who have seen one of the various news programs have saw that, you know, we had some shootings and some deaths in downtown Detroit, 4 different incidents, and a lot of them were teenagers, which is why the Chief White now is imposing or implementing the curfew, because they were like 15, 16, which is just unrestrained youth who I know one of the shootings where a person actually died and 3 others were injured because somebody took cuts in line.
What?
Yeah, it was that simple, stupid, and ridiculous. Somebody took cuts and somebody got an attitude about it, and so there was gunplay. This is over near Buffalo Wild Wings, right down the street from Greektown. There was an incident in Hart Plaza. But I bring that up only to say that the youth, you parents, and some of you grandparents are actually raising your grandchildren because of whatever reason the parent is not there. Which is why we have to more or less try to corral them, because if they're left to the influences of music and media, social media in particular, where you get stripes, just like the guy that I believe this was definitely in Tennessee, where the man, while he was shooting up the school, he was videotaping it live on Facebook. So some people are actually going for notoriety for the most negative of behavior, and they're proud of it too. You know, they don't even intend to live. We have to, again, catch our youth young. Most of my nieces and nephews, you know, and we had one of my great nephews. He's very disorderly at my mom's house the other day, and we, you know, trying to get him to just chill. So what my brother did, because he's young, maybe 3 or 4 years old, my brother just held him by his feet so his head was hanging to the ground. He said, this is one way to keep him from running around. He can't do nothing now. He's very vulnerable. Well, you know, and it wasn't extreme. You know, the child might have thought it was playful, but the thing is that we were trying to, and we're doing a little better with corralling his rambunctious and rebellious behavior, because if we don't now, the police will have to do it later. Because we, you know, and there's a point, particularly when you get around puberty, that if a child has not been disciplined in those early years when you can control them, when they get to be a teen, don't start asking them, well, I want you to take out the garbage. Well, he should have been taking it out earlier, because now he's going to resist that. They feel in their own adulthood coming, you know, the hormones and everything, like, and then some of them, you know, it's crazy, but it's true. Someone say, you know what, I think I can take Dad, you know, because they want to be a man now. They don't have a pot to urinate in or nothing. They can't pay rent, right? But they want to be the man, but they don't have, other than their hormones, they don't have it. So let's just try to put that in check.
And that's the other reason why I bring up the educational process, because here in the Detroit Public School System of Detroit, there were classes taken out of the curriculum, classes that cause the young students to want to come to school, classes that cause you to want to stay in school, classes that want you to learn. They had a wood shop, metal shop. They had all kinds of classes that would pique the interest and hold the attention of the students. We hear about sports, we hear about music, and there's nothing wrong with sports or music. There have been many professionals who have come from Detroit through the Detroit Public School System. But there are other young people that need to be thought about, that need to be cared about, that need to be introduced to opportunities of other directions. And one of the main reasons why I've been attending the school board meetings is because electric cars are coming. Whether you want them or not is irrelevant. They are coming. There was a question yesterday. I was out on channel surfing, and the request is that the number of electric cars planned be doubled, so that we can get more on the road, avoid the emissions that we have now, the global warming, and the kind of air that we're breathing is getting worse and worse. Now, with that, the increase of electric vehicles, we have to have charging stations, right? We have to have electrical parts for the dashboard, for the whole vehicle and elsewhere. And so our young people need to be introduced to those types of jobs, those types of inventions that probably have not come out yet. So the curriculum has to be adjusted to that. That's one of the main reasons why I go. The other main reason is because of the Benjamin Davis Aerospace School, which was located on the city airport, which is now called the Coleman Young International Airport. That school was producing black pilots, black airplane mechanics, air traffic controllers, etc., aviation students. They do have some classes there in the building built by the Tuskegee Airmen, but not as much as they had in the past. Prior to that school being relocated in a neighborhood where it could never work. You cannot have Benjamin Davis Airspace in a senior neighborhood. If they were to start up an airplane engine to scare folk to death, in any other neighborhood for that matter. But that's what we need to do, and we are at the end of this show. It has gone too fast today. Oh, Jim has a comment. Oh my goodness! Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello, Miss Theo.
Wonderful engineer.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. The engineer, Tim Smith. Just want to say real quick, Miss Theo Broden, you've been on the airways for a long, long time. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at Miss Theo, looking good today, her birthday. Ain't got a thing of gray in her hair. I got more gray hair she do. And she's only 21 years old.
Oh, I love it.
But anyway, on the behalf of the staff, management of TV33, WHPR 88.1, WVIE 107.3, we want to wish you, Theo Broden of Hood Research and Feedback, a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so
Happy
much.
birthday
I
to
appreciate
you.
that.
Enjoy.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
Our wonderful engineer, Tim Smith.
Oh, yes. And he keeps us on, keeps us going, keeps us clear. Every Monday, we want you to know. Every Monday at 9 a.m. Thank you for that.
And I want to quickly interject for those, I hope you had your pen and paper handy. This Wednesday, April 19th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., 1001 Woodward Avenue, a job fair. Again, this Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., free parking validations. If you park at the One Campus Marcius Garage, which is located at 1140 Farmer Street, over 1,000 job openings. Please take advantage of it.
Absolutely. And I want you to know it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. You see, the BD has found out some very vital information for those who are looking for employment. We seek out as much information as we can to share with you, and we encourage you to share with us. I need you to know that the telephone number for Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. Again, that's area code 248-234-2371. As Henry would say, 248-234-2371.
And as I always say, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you finish. So get that job.
All right. And to stay with Hood Research and Feedback. And we will be back next Monday, 9 a.m. Peace.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.